But as the source text warns us, a good morning does not guarantee an easy afternoon.
The day is long.
Very long. The human body is cyclical. New, very different biological challenges arise as the day goes on.
So we have built this perfect morning, and you ride that wonderful momentum right up until about 2:00 p.m., and then, well, biology catches up with you. You hit that dreaded afternoon wall.
The 2:00 p.m. wall.
You are sitting at your computer, your eyes feel heavy, you are staring at the screen, but you are not really reading the words. This is the famous afternoon slump.
It is a universally recognized feeling. Almost everyone experiences it. And the source material is excellent here because it identifies 3 specific physical causes for this afternoon exhaustion and provides 3 very actionable solutions.
Okay, let's go through them.
The first cause it mentions is the simple, seemingly harmless act of sitting.
The text states that sitting in a chair from 9:000 a.m. to 5:00 p.m. is actively terrible for the human body. We sit at our desks, we lean forward to stare at our monitors, and we just do not move for hours at a time.
To understand why this makes us so tired, we have to look at human evolution.
Evolution.
Yes. Our bodies were not designed by nature to sit in a padded chair for 8 hours a day. For thousands of years, humans were hunters and gatherers. We are biologically engineered to be in constant motion.
We're supposed to be walking around.
Exactly. When you sit completely still for hours, your body thinks, oh, we must be preparing to sleep. Your blood circulation dramatically slows down.
Gravity pulls the blood down and it just pools in your legs. It is not moving quickly around your system.
Precisely. And when your blood circulation slows down, it is not delivering fresh oxygen to your brain as quickly or as efficiently as it should. Your brain requires a massive amount of oxygen to stay alert.
Right.
Without that steady supply of fresh oxygen, your brain sends out an emergency signal. Energy is low. Oxygen is low. We should shut down and go to sleep.
Wow, so sitting actually tricks your brain into thinking it's bedtime.
Yes. Furthermore, sitting motionless in one position puts a highly unnatural amount of pressure on the discs in your lower back and the muscles in your neck. This causes low-level pain, and dealing with constant pain is mentally exhausting.
So the source gives us a very specific, non-negotiable rule to fight this biological shutdown. You must move your body every single hour.
Every hour.
Every hour on the clock. You must stand up for just 2 minutes.
Just 120 seconds. It is a tiny investment of time. It does not require a long break or leaving the building.
The text suggests a simple routine. Stand up from your chair, stretch your arms as high as you possibly can toward the ceiling, and walk across the office to get a glass of water. Now, I understand that moving is good. But why is such an incredibly tiny 2-minute movement so effective at stopping the afternoon slump?
Because it acts as an immediate override switch for your physiology.
An override switch.
Yes. When you stand up and stretch your arms high above your head, you physically expand your rib cage. You open up your chest. This allows your lungs to take in a much deeper, wider breath of air than you can when you are hunched over a keyboard.
I'm trying it right now, and yeah, you can breathe so much deeper.
That deep breath sends a massive, sudden rush of oxygen directly into your bloodstream.
And because you are suddenly standing and walking to get water, your heart has to start pumping slightly faster. It takes all that fresh, new, oxygen-rich blood and pushes it straight up your neck and into your brain.
Exactly. The brain receives this sudden flood of oxygen and instantly wakes up. It turns off the go-to-sleep signal. The heavy, foggy feeling disappears.
That is amazing.
Additionally, reaching for the ceiling relieves the intense, compressed tension in your back muscles. By moving for just 2 minutes every hour, you constantly reset your body's internal energy levels. You interrupt the tiredness before it can build up into exhaustion.
It really is like pressing a small refresh button on your internet browser, but you are pressing it for your whole body.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, so standing up helps our blood circulation and our spine.
Yeah.
But it's not just our bodies that are stuck in one posture, though. We're doing the exact same thing to our vision by staring at a screen 18 inches away for 8 hours.
Yes, the eyes.
The source points out that tired eyes make the whole head feel tired.
This is perhaps the most common hazard in the modern workplace. We stare at bright, artificial screens that are positioned very close to our faces for hours and hours without looking away. This causes a condition known as severe eye strain.
To combat this, the text introduces a concept called the 20-20-20 rule. I want to repeat this very slowly because it is extremely clever and very easy to memorize. The rule is 20 minutes, 20 feet, 20 seconds.
It is a brilliant scientifically backed rule for maintaining eye health and mental focus.
Let me explain exactly how the text says to use it. Every 20 minutes of looking at your computer screen, you must look away. You must find an object that is at least 20 feet away from you. 20 feet is roughly 6 meters.
Yeah.
And you must look at that distant object for 20 full seconds. The text suggests looking out a window at a tree or looking down a long hallway. Now, I understand the rule in theory, but I have to ask, why a tree? Why does the distance of 20 feet matter so much?
It has to do with the physical mechanics of the tiny muscles located inside your eyeballs.
Eyeball muscles.
Yes. When you look at something very close to your face, like a mobile phone or a laptop screen, the ciliary muscles inside your eyes have to physically contract. They have to squeeze very tightly to bend the lens of your eye and keep the close words in sharp focus.
So they're working hard.
Very hard. If you stare at an email on a screen for 2 hours, those tiny muscles are squeezing tightly for 2 hours without a single break.
Just imagine if you held a heavy bag of groceries in your hand and squeezed your bicep muscle as hard as you could for 2 hours. Your arm would be shaking and in terrible pain.
That is the perfect way to imagine it. Your eye muscles become physically exhausted, but when you look at something far away, like a building or a tree that is 20 feet in the distance, those ciliary muscles finally get to relax.
They drop the bag.
They let go. Looking far into the distance is the natural, relaxed resting state for human eyes.
So by taking just 20 seconds to look out the window, you are giving those tiny, overworked eye muscles a chance to drop the heavy grocery bag and rest.
Yes.
If you do this every 20 minutes, your eyes never get truly tired. You completely avoid the tight headaches, the dry eyes, and the blurry vision that contribute heavily to the afternoon slump.
In fact, if you are somewhere safe right now listening to this, give it a try. Look up from whatever you are doing. Find a window or look down a long street. Just let your eyes rest on something far away. Notice how the tension behind your eyes immediately softens.
It feels incredibly relieving. But I do have to push back slightly here. When I am deep in a complex work project or studying for a big exam, I am hyper-focused. The last thing I remember to do is stop and look at a tree every 20 minutes. Does the source offer a way to remember this?
The best practical application is to link it to your hydration habit. Remember, you are supposed to stand up and get water every hour.
Oh, combine them.
Exactly. You can simply practice the 20-20-20 rule while you are walking to get that water. Or set a gentle repeating chime on your phone. Eventually, your eyes will actually start to crave that break, and it will become a natural reflex.
That is very helpful. Now, there's a third major reason for the afternoon slump, and it might be the most powerful one of all. It happens at lunch.
The food coma.
Yes, exactly. The text describes a scenario where an office worker goes out and eats a large, greasy hamburger and a massive order of French fries for lunch. And then, predictably, at 2:00 p.m., they can barely keep their eyes open at their desk.
Biologists often refer to this as a food coma, but we can call it the heavy lunch energy drain. A double hamburger and a large portion of fried potatoes are what nutritionists call extremely heavy foods. They are loaded with complex, saturated fats and dense, highly processed carbohydrates.
I compare eating a heavy fast food lunch to putting on a thick backpack filled with heavy rocks. You have to carry that weight around inside you all afternoon. It slows you down.
That's exactly how it feels.
But mechanically, what is actually happening inside the body? Why does a hamburger
Yeah.
literally make us want to go to sleep?
Digestion. The biological process of breaking down the food in your stomach so your body can absorb the nutrients requires an enormous amount of energy. It is hard work.
Right.
When you put a large, heavy, highly fatty meal into your stomach, your body recognizes that it has a massive job ahead of it. To accomplish this difficult job, your body must forcefully redirect a huge amount of your blood supply down to your digestive system to help the stomach work.
And since we only have a limited amount of blood in our bodies, where does that extra blood come from?
It is pulled directly away from your brain and your skeletal muscles because your brain is suddenly receiving significantly less blood flow and less oxygen. You instantly feel tired and slow.
That is amazing.
Your body is basically sending a chemical message saying, please sit very still and do not try to think too hard right now. We are diverting all of our available power to the stomach to break down this hamburger.
That makes so much sense. The energy isn't gone. It is just being used in the stomach instead of the brain. So the logical solution from the deep dive text is to eat what we call a lighter lunch. The text highly recommends bringing a prepared lunchbox from home. Pack a large, fresh salad with chicken or a simple small sandwich on whole wheat bread.
Exactly. Foods like leafy salads, fresh vegetables, and lean proteins like chicken or fish are much easier for the body's enzymes to break down. They do not require a massive redirection of your blood supply. The stomach handles them quickly and efficiently.
So if you eat a light salad, your blood stays circulating your brain where it belongs. You preserve your mental sharpness for your afternoon work. And as a wonderful bonus, the text explicitly mentions that bringing a lunchbox from home saves you a significant amount of money over time compared to buying expensive fast food every single day.
It is a highly practical choice that benefits both your physical health and your financial health.
Absolutely. So we have successfully navigated the dangers of the afternoon. We stood up and stretched our lungs every hour. We rested our eye muscles using the 20-20-20 rule. We ate a light, easy-to-digest lunch so our brain kept all its blood and energy. Now, it is 5:00 p.m. The workday is finally over.
The best time of the day.
You pack your bag, you ride the bus back home, you walk up to your front door, you turn the key. And right here, according to the sources, we face the most dangerous, critical moment of the entire evening.
Yes. The transition from the demanding outside world to the relaxing inside world.
The biggest, most common mistake happens the exact second you walk through the door. The text describes this trap perfectly. You walk into your house, you take off your shoes, you drop your bag, and you fall immediately onto the soft, comfortable sofa in your living room.
And once you fall onto that sofa, you do not move again.
I call this the sofa trap. The sofa is like a giant, comfortable magnet. It pulls your tired body down, and it absolutely will not let you go. The text gives a very strict, serious warning. Do not sit on the sofa immediately. If you sit down, you will not get back up to cook or clean.
It's so true.
Why is it so incredibly hard to stand back up once we sit down after a long day of work?
It has everything to do with physical momentum and how the brain manages the transition from an active state to a resting state. Throughout your whole workday, your body and your nervous system are in a highly active, engaged mode. You are moving, you are talking, you are solving problems.
Right.
When you walk through your front door, your body still holds some of that active forward momentum. The engine is still running.
You are still in motion.
Exactly. But if you immediately crash onto a soft sofa, you send a very sudden, very powerful physiological signal to your brain. You are explicitly telling your brain the day is completely finished. All physical and mental work is done. It is time to initiate the shutdown sequence.
And the brain believes you. It starts turning off the energy valve.
Yes. Your heart rate drops rapidly, your blood pressure lowers, and your muscles completely relax. You enter a deep resting state. Once you are locked into that resting state, it requires a massive, almost painful amount of psychological willpower to restart the engine.
To get back up.
Right. To convince yourself to stand back up, walk to the kitchen, and cook a healthy dinner feels incredibly difficult because your biology has already committed to resting.
You have lost all your forward momentum. It is like trying to push a heavy car that is completely stacked instead of just keeping a rolling car moving. So the brilliant rule from the source text is this. Stay in your feet. Stay standing. When you walk in the door, take off your shoes, but absolutely do not sit down.
Keep moving.
Instead, immediately start with the text calls the 15-minute cleanup.
The 15-minute cleanup is a wonderful, highly effective behavioral strategy. The instructions are beautifully simple. You take your phone and you set a countdown timer for exactly 15 minutes. And for those 15 minutes, you move quickly and you clean your living space.
You wash the coffee cup you left in the sink this morning.
Yeah.
You take the garbage out. You wipe down the kitchen table. You pick up the mail or the clothes scattered on the floor. You just keep your body moving while you still have that leftover active workday energy.
And because you know a timer is ticking down, it does not feel like an endless, terrible chore. You know it will be over very quickly. 15 minutes is a very short amount of time, but you can accomplish a surprising, almost magical amount of cleaning if you move quickly and stay focused.
The text includes a very profound, simple quote that I want to highlight. It says, "A clean house helps you relax." I want us to really think deeply about that. Why does a clean house actually help our bodies and minds relax?
We touched on this concept earlier when we discussed the psychology of making the bed in the morning. It is fundamentally about visual processing and the brain's reaction to its environment.
The visual chaos again.
Exactly. When you sit in a messy, chaotic room, if there are dirty dishes stacked high in the sink, trash on the coffee table, clothes thrown over a chair, your eyes see all those unfinished tasks.
And every single messy item is silently yelling at you. The dirty dishes are saying, "You need to wash me." The trash is saying, You need to throw me away.
Precisely. Even if you are lying on the sofa trying to watch television, your brain is subconsciously processing all that visual noise. It knows there is work left to do. This creates a low, constant level of background anxiety. You cannot fully, deeply relax because your subconscious mind is aware of the chaos around you.
But if you do the 15-minute cleanup first, well, when you finally do sit down to rest, the house is quiet. The sink is totally empty. The tables are clear. There is no visual noise shouting at you.
It's peaceful.
The clean environment gives your brain permission to completely let go and truly rest without any guilt.
And there is a compounding benefit. By doing this quick cleanup every single day, the mess never builds up. It never becomes a giant, overwhelming 3-hour cleaning job that ruins your Saturday morning. It is just 15 minutes of easy daily maintenance.
It is such a smart way to live. Only after this cleanup and after cooking a healthy, simple dinner should you finally allow yourself to sink into that soft sofa and relax. You have maintained your momentum, finished your chores, and truly earned your rest.